Hey everyone, I'm the Canadian lad, and today's video is kinda like a part 2 of this one. And thank you lads for making my breakdown of episode 7 trending at number 5. I truly appreciate it. Now I have found some additional details after watching this episode again at 0.25x speed, but I'll have you know one or two of these details are not mine. So without any further ado, let's begin. Number 1. From outside of Westview, we can clearly see that the hex appears to be red, because red is the color of Wanda when she uses her power. But I just noticed when Monica was going through this energy barrier, the color on the inside appears to be purple. And purple alludes to Agatha Harkness, whose powers, spells, even the flowers around her house are all purple. So this subtle detail indicates that even though the hex may appear to be red from the outside, but its actual energy form is purple. So Agatha has probably put this red color as an illusion so Wanda thinks she's really in control. Number 2. Episode 7 is officially called Breaking the Fourth Wall, mostly because breaking the fourth wall means when a character acknowledges they're in a movie or a show and interact directly with the audience. And this episode was heavily inspired by The Office and Modern Family, so the title makes sense. But I noticed something more. Remember how Mr. Herb was literally cutting through this wall in episode 3?
Think you might have taken the hedge trimming a little too far there, old chum.
I previously predicted that he might be glitching here, which turned out to be true because it was in fact Agatha who mind-controlled him into doing so. Now think about it. Mr. Herb cutting this wall under the influence of Agatha Harkness might have been an Easter egg that they will in fact break the fourth wall. And when was Agnes revealed as Agatha Harkness? In Breaking the Fourth Wall episode. So this entire scene of Mr. Herb acting weird and cutting this wall was Foreshadowing episode 7. Number 3. Now let me give you lads a detail from Agatha's own theme song, which by the way I think is the best one in the series. Anyway, so for the song Agatha All Along, on the words everything, evil strings, and anything, a specific musical interval is used in the melody.
Everything, evil string, anything.
This interval is called a tritone, otherwise known as Devil's Interval. So why would some musical notes be known as the Devil's Interval? Well, this goes back to the Gregorian chant. The overwhelming majority of all music used to be written for church in those days, and was meant to be beautiful as an act of praise to God. Therefore, certain intervals were given preference, while some other not so much. For example, the 4th and the 5th are considered perfect intervals, but tritone is considered imperfect. It was believed that there couldn't possibly be a more dissonant or imperfect interval than the tritone. It was therefore labeled as the Devil's Interval, because church officials were afraid that this tone might summon the devil himself. So the fact that Marvel used the Devil's Interval in a theme song about a witch is an Easter egg in and of itself. And I'll have you know that Kathryn Hahn herself has sang the female part of the song, and thanks to Nick Wood 68 on TikTok, who discovered that tritone is being used in almost all of WandaVision's intro. Number 4. Now that we know that witches are a thing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, guess where that leads us to? Spider-Man Far From Home.
You didn't see that coming?
Okay, let me explain. Remember what Mr. Dell said when asked about what he thinks about Hydra Man? Or should I say, one of Mysterio's illusions?
What do you think it is?
You know, being a man of science, witches.
That's right. I was just waiting for the official Agatha Harkness reveal so that I can use this dialogue of Mr. Dell as a detail. Because Far From Home, even though it came way before WandaVision, but it actually takes place after WandaVision. Endgame's timeline is somewhere around October 2023. WandaVision takes place 3 weeks after Hulk's snap, and Far From Home takes place 8 months after Endgame, which would make it June 2024.
And 8 months ago, a band of brave heroes brought us back.
And when Peter was scanning everyone's cell phone, we can see that Mr. Dell was really into witchcraft. So my theory is, by the end of WandaVision, perhaps the news of witches existing in the MCU gets spread out, and everyone we saw in Far From Home do know about WandaVision, and that is probably why Mr. Dell was referring to witchcraft so many times.
Oh, the witches are back!
Or maybe it's all just in my head and I'm really stretching this one here. But trust me, I've been dying to talk about this detail ever since we came to know that Agatha Harkness might be in the show. But after last episode's reveal, I thought this is the best time to slide this detail in. Number 5. Now this detail was found by @I'mSoAwesomeFace on Twitter, so shoutouts to him. It was revealed at the end of episode 7 that it was indeed Agatha Harkness who asked Wanda this very creepy question.
Do you think maybe this is what you deserve?
Wanda was baffled because the guy behind the camera isn't supposed to be talking.
You're not supposed to talk.
But now it has been confirmed that Kathryn Hahn herself did the voiceover for this line. Listen to this pitch-shifted audio that reveals this amazing Easter egg.
Do you think maybe this is what you deserve?
Do you think maybe this is what you deserve?
thanks to I'm So Awesome Face for finding this awesome detail. The fact that Marvel actually made Kathryn Hahn say the line and later changed the pitch of her voice, knowing very well that fans will eventually find out whose voice it really is, kinda tells me that Marvel wanted us to find this detail. Otherwise, they could have used any random guy's voice and just get over with this scene. Number 6. In the intro where we see the title inspired by Modern Family has a heart symbol on Friday the 10th, but it doesn't show any month. Now we know WandaVision takes place 3 weeks after Endgame, so it's probably November 2023. And if you look at the real life 2023 calendar, November 10th is actually a Friday. So why is it marked with this heart-shaped symbol? Could it be foreshadowing the ending of the show? Maybe by the time we reach the final episode, it will be November 10th, 2023 in the MCU. Because remember, the calendar that we previously saw in episode 1 was also the calendar of 2023. Number 7. For this detail, we gotta go all the way back to episode 1. Remember how Agnes hands Wanda this plant with this note attached to it, so it's more of a gift. Now fast forward to episode 7, after Agnes took the twins home, the first thing that starts glitching inside Wanda's house is the same gift that Wanda got from Agnes. This is another hint that almost everything that we're seeing inside the hex is Agatha's doing, not Wanda. It just looks as if Wanda is in control, but it's really been Number 8. Wanda interrupts the twins playing video games, takes the remote, and switches the channel to check the weather forecast. Now notice it doesn't show any chance of rain for the next 5 days, with a little bit of cloud here and there but no sign of rain, especially not today. But soon after we see raindrops on the right front window when Vision and Darcy were in this truck. We can also see raindrops on the traffic light, so it's safe to say there was a slight drizzle in Westview, but it doesn't correspond to what Wanda saw on her TV, and Darcy also notices that it rained for the first time in Westview. So why is the weather different than what Wanda saw? It's because just like the hex was glitching and she was not able to bring it under control, in the same fashion she's not able to control the weather in Westview. So everything is literally falling apart. Number 9. When we get to see that Agatha was the one who brought back Pietro, notice there's no red flowers around Wanda's house. And it was the 80s at the time. But in episode 7, which is based on 2010, Wanda now has red flowers, which correspond to her powers, just like Agatha has purple flowers and Dottie has yellow. I'll talk more about this once episode 8 releases, okay? Number 10. The latest piece of WandaVision merchandise from Marvel provides a sneak peek of the continued confrontation between Agatha Harkness and Wanda. In the image, it shows 2 of them are inside the underground dungeon of Agatha Harkness, with Wanda seemingly defeated while a smiling Agatha stands over her. This picture immediately tells us that episode 8 will pick up from where we left off, and by the looks of it, it does look like Agatha has some sort of a spell cast over Wanda. She's completely able to bring Wanda under her control, and notice the rabbit is also gone, because the last time we saw Agatha Harkness, she was still holding the rabbit, aka Senior Scratchy. Whatever happens, I think we're gonna know why Agatha is doing all of this and what she's really after. And that's it. This would be my second breakdown of WandaVision's episode 7. Thanks for making my breakdowns trending 2 weeks in a row now. I can't explain how thankful I am to all of you lads. Now, if I could ask for one more thing, I'd ask you to grab the subscribe button, hit thumbs up, and follow me on Instagram. Till then, I'm Ralph, and I'll see you lads in the next one.
Snooper's gonna snoop.